What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by to check out another Masterverse review. This is Battle Armor He-Man, the Revolution version. As you can see off to the left, we have the first version of Battle Armor He-Man, and we're kind of going to compare and contrast some things with the new version, the old version. As you can see on the right, we have the 40th anniversary He-Man, and then we have the Wave 1 He-Man right here. So our first iteration of He-Man to the line right there. So we're kind of going to go over all these characters, kind of see some of the similarities, some of the differences. This is the Origins Battle Armor He-Man with battle damage. He's the one that came with Battle Cat in the packet. So we're kind of going to use him too, just to kind of reference some of his armor and things like that. But let's go ahead and get into this box a little bit. So this is the new style of boxing that we have now with the smaller window. Really cool artwork all over the front of the box. I'm really impressed with this. I like the skulls on the side. I think that this is a great job as far as the box art goes. As you spin it around to the side, you kind of just get a continuation of that front picture there, which is pretty neat. And then over here on this side, we've got our little profile pictures or mugshot-like photos. Pretty good picture of He-Man right there. I like this face sculpt. I wish he looked a little more like this. But pretty good artwork. And then on the back, we have some artwork of what would be a posed character. But I think that this is AI generated artwork here. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think it's AI generated. In my opinion, this face looks the best. This face has too long of a chin. This one you can't tell too well. And this one also has a longer chin and kind of thinner cheeks. So the faces are all a little bit different, and that leads me to believe that it's AI created even more. We've got some shadow beasts lurking around in the background here. Hopefully those will come out in the Masterverse line at some point. Then we have the little He-Man down here, his little face, Battle Armor He-Man, most powerful armor in the universe on the most powerful man in the universe. It says, wow, without his sword of power, He-Man receives help from Andra, who creates the impressive battle armor for extra protection during combat. So if you haven't seen the new Revolution series on Netflix, you might want to watch that just so you'll kind of know what they're talking about. If you don't care what they're talking about, then that doesn't really matter. As far as also available in this wave, we've got the Battle Armor He-Man, Mechanic, Triclops, and King Keldor. I'm still waiting on King Keldor to get here. I don't know, problem with shipping. Review of Triclops is up. Mechanic will be coming soon, and as you can see, we're doing Battle Armor He-Man right now. And I like this small little blurb we got down here by Mattel, empowering the next generation through play. I just think that's really cool. Nice little blurb down there. So let's go ahead and pull him in close, get him out of the box, and get him comparing to these other figures. So here he is all pulled out of the box. And as you can see, you may be surprised, as I am surprised, he did not come with a power sword. He came with a battle axe. He came with an additional piece of armor or chest harness. He came with a single strike plate to replace that plate. He did not come with the double strike plate like we're used to. And then he came with 2 fisting hands, which I briefly showed in the unboxing portion of the video. So let's go ahead and get this battle axe pulled out of his hands so we can take a closer look at this. He was being a bit wobbly. There you go. So really cool. I'm liking what I'm seeing on the battle axe. The paint deco is the best we've ever had. This is probably the most robust, sturdy, all around. This is going to be the nicest battle axe so far put out by Masterverse, in my personal opinion. This is a great battle axe. The color's working really well. The silver and the kind of gray blue just looks really good together. It gives it a really good metallic vibe. So I'm here for the axe all day long. The new chest armor I also like. I like the symbol here. I do like the cross that he's got back here, but I also like the H symbol. I don't really have any preference to one or the other. I like them both. I did think that this harness was going to be made of a little bit softer material, but it's not, and that's okay too. I mean, it's going to work just fine. As you'll see here in a little bit, we're going to go ahead and put it on him and see what he looks like that way. But first, we're also going to put his single strike plate in. But first, I just kind of want to take a look at him and his articulation with the battle armor on. So as far as his head articulation, he can look to the left. He can look to the right. His head will turn all the way around. Pretty much what we've come to expect. His hair does seem to get caught up a little bit, so it is a little bit hard to turn it all the way to the left, but once you get it past a certain point, kind of where his chin hits there, then it makes its way around. So not too bad. Arms go up. They swivel at the bicep. This joint also swivels. Mine's just really stiff right now. He's just a new boy. And then as you can see, he's got the standard Masterverse double jointed elbows, which I'm sure are also, yep, there we go. We got that roll. So we got the double jointed elbows there. He can reach up pretty good. And it will spin all the way around like that. As we come down to his wrist will rotate also all the way around. And then he has a vertical hinge joint that goes up and down. And normally that is so you can position him to hold the power sword in his classic pose, sort of like that there. But then this figure didn't come with a power sword, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. He does have the diaphragm cut here. You can kind of see here, but it's not going to work with this battle armor on. That's one thing about that battle armor that I'll show you in a second, but with the battle armor on, that diaphragm cut is basically useless. He does still have a turn at the waist though. That's like what we're used to seeing. He does have the thigh cut, as well as a double jointed knee. Let's see how stiff this is going to be. There it goes, bending. All right, I love when they're not too stiff to show you how they're supposed to work on video. Then he's also got the boot cut, so you can swivel the boot all the way around, as well as a heel rocker. You can point the toe down, you can point the toe up, and it will spin all around. So as far as that goes, he articulates just like any other Masterverse character. I guess one thing that he does have, I believe, let's see if he has those drop down hips. It doesn't look like he does, maybe. Or mine are just stiff. I thought this guy had the new drop down hips, but I might be wrong. I could be totally wrong about that. So let's go ahead and compare him with this guy here first. Go ahead and just scoot him over a bit. We're going to pull his power sword out of his hand because he doesn't need that. Another thing Battle Armor He-Man didn't come with was a shield, which is a pretty important accessory for He-Man, I think. I do have his other gauntlet that goes here. It just fits better. The shield fits better if I take it off, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it off. for right now because, yeah, I'm not seeing where I slid it. But his gauntlet, see how his has this gold that matches his belt and it matches his wrist bracer. His was basically the same gauntlet, it was just yellow, so it matched his little wrist bracer and his belt there. So that's really the only difference. It was like the exact same piece, it was just this color yellow. And that's one of the changes that they made, was changing this from yellow to like a copper bronze type look, which in my opinion is 1000% better. It's definitely an improvement. It looks like on the loincloth, it is more of a matte finish, where this one is like shiny, kind of glossy, and has darker browns. This looks like it might have a little bit lighter brown tones to it. When we go down to the boots, you can see the boots are the same. It looks like they reused the boots, paint, everything appears to be the same. This shade of brown might be just a hair different than that, but other than that, they are the same boots. As well as, let's go ahead and get his arm turned around, as well as the arms. They are the same arm sculpts. Definitely a different head sculpt. You can tell that when we look at their faces here. Two different heads. This head just looks so much smaller than this head does. But that was pretty much a common complaint, that the head was a little too small. As far as height goes, they appear to be the same height. This guy here's rocking a little bit to the right side, but I'm going to go ahead and stand him over here for a second, and we are going to pull off his battle armor so we can take a look at his chest sculpt. And these tabs just all pop up, and then it slides off in two pieces, and there we can see the chest. And you can see that it has definitely changed. The chest, the neck. I'm going to go ahead and pull this harness off so you can have a direct comparison with the first version of He-Man that we got. Just going to pop his head off to get this off a little bit easier. Off camera, off camera. And get him posed up without his stuff on, or not posed up, but just standing up. And now we can do more of a direct comparison. And let me just scoot, well, I'll scoot them a little more into the middle. Now the new He-Man's looking taller, he's looking bigger, his chest looks better, his shoulders look better, his neck looks better. His skin tone, the actual color of his skin, is a huge improvement. Where this one here, I don't know if it's from the hair and the belt that it's just giving his skin more of a yellow look, but he's always had kind of a jaundiced yellow look where he has more of the tan or pink skin. So definitely a win when it comes to the skin tone over here. As far as the chest sculpt, much better chest sculpt. We still forgot the nipples. I'm not sure why we're leaving the nipples off. Skeletech got nipples. I actually don't know why we're not using the chest sculpt from Skeletech. Skeletech had an amazing chest sculpt. I thought that was going to be the new thing. But this one's also good. No problems with it. I'm not going to do too much complaining. As far as this right here goes, this punches out of the middle. Just simple as that. And then you can just put, sorry, I keep bumping the camera stand. Then you can just put that one in there, and I'm going to keep this one in here. As you can tell from my other He-Man over here, I always display them with a bit of battle damage. I just feel like it adds a little bit of character to the figure. I'm going to go ahead and slide his extra bits over here to the side because we are not needing them right now. Now, we'll get a closer look at these two chest harnesses. So this is the first version, and then this is the new version, and you can just tell easily. It's thicker. It looks more like metal. The plastic is a higher quality, or whatever they've made this out of is a higher quality than the older version. So just hands down, this He-Man is better than that He-Man. That's all I can really say. I do think his abdomen sculpt is the same. So from just this part of the buck is different. It looks like the arms, legs, abdomen's the same. It's just the top of the buck there. So the way that I'm probably going to display this, because I have a couple extra of these guys, and because the way the body is set up on him, I'm going to display him in his battle harness. And I am more than likely, let me get this clamshelled together at least halfway here before I slap it back up on there. So I'm probably going to put the battle armor onto this He-Man, just for the simple fact that it will hide that chest, that tiny little chest sculpt that we got on there. I'm going to put this battle armor on that He-Man. That'll get rid of that problem. The only thing that I can say is I feel like his neck is just a little bit longer, and his neck is obviously a little bit shorter then, so it looks like his head's down in there a little bit more, but I don't think that this is the head that I'm going to keep on the body. I actually think I'm going to put this head on this body, and then we're going to try out some alternative heads on his body over here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this one set up with the battle harness, this one set up with the battle armor, and then we will be right back. All right, so there they are. We'll go ahead and just look at this old one first. So you can see it does fit on him just fine. His head will still turn. It's just a little stiffer where his hair rubs on the vest. But as you can see, that fits him good. It covers up some of the yellow looking skin and that small chest area. I did happen to find his gauntlet. It had fallen on the floor, so I just went ahead and slid that on him real quick, just to help out with the comparison a bit. And then now we have the new battle armor He-Man with his battle harness on. And yeah, this is the way that I'm going to be displaying this He-Man. I still haven't decided about the head yet. We have some other head sculpts we're going to pop on there. This is kind of a Filmation style sword. It's 3D printed, and I think I made it just a hair too big. So what we're going to do is go ahead and just pull this out of his hand, because I'm going to need to resize that just a tiny bit. But I wanted him to be able to have like a Filmation style sword. But there he is. I mean, just look at him. That looks way more like a He-Man than what this guy's chest did. And now, finally, we're going to pull him in here too and just look at him real close, real quick. His chest looked like mashed potatoes, or like somebody just took a lump of Play-Doh and just mushed on there. There's no definition, there's no detail. It's literally just two big old blobs of sculpt. I don't know. His chest, I was happy with it compared to his chest, but now after seeing his chest, I definitely prefer his chest. But as I said, Skelegod has got the best chest sculpt out of everybody so far. It's big. It just looks like it should. Let's go ahead and set him back here for a minute. Another thing that I did want to do was I want to pull his head off. Take a look at it. Now, his skin tone on here doesn't normally match things very well, but I'm going to just see. Give me just a second to do this off camera. All right, so put it up here to see what you guys think. I think we finally have a body that this head matches. And look at that. It looks so much better than what I feel like the 40th anniversary looked. That the little bit of pink in the cheeks ties it in with the rest of his body, and I just feel like that is a good looking He-Man. I think this is how I'm going to have my He-Man displayed, right here. Only we are going to give him a power sword. I will just take one of the extra power swords that I happen to have. I have an additional 40th anniversary He-Man, so I'll probably take the Filmation style sword from him, and that way I can just keep it and the head together. But what do you guys think? Out of these different versions of He-Man that we've looked at so far, what ones are you feeling best represent He-Man? And then as far as other heads go, we've got the kind of Battle Armor Origins head, which would also fit. Then we have kind of the vintage style looking Origins sculpt. And then we have the new Origins or newer Origins He-Man head sculpt. So those will all fit on this He-Man right here. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to keep you. This is probably going to be one of my longest videos ever, just for the simple fact of all this different stuff that I'm trying to do in here. And then here is, we'll take one look at him before we stop the video, but this is the original Battle Armor He-Man that came out to the Masterverse line. This is not how I display him. I put him this way just so you guys could see all the stuff that he came with. He did come with these hip guards, he came with a shoulder pauldron, and what they did differently with him was they put this kind of wrist bracer on him that the shield just plugs into instead of holding, and I'm glad that they didn't do that with him, because I don't like this. I don't like this big bulky thing that has to now be on all of their arms to fit the shield. So I'm glad that they did away with that, at least for this figure. Let me plug that back in there. I mean, it works for when he has the shield, but if you don't want to display him with the shield, he's just got this big weird plug in his arm. As far as his battle armor, though, it is molded onto his body, so he can still articulate while wearing the battle armor. And his abdomen cut right here, or his diaphragm cut, works just fine when he doesn't have the battle armor on. However, his works while he has the battle armor on. And just this front comes off and you can interchange those plates. So I like what they did here. I mean, it's kind of like that. You can't take the battle armor off of the Origins version, but I don't know. That one looks better to me. This did come with extra accessories, being the hip guards and the shoulder thing. It came with a shield, it came with a sword, it came with an axe. It came with a beard. So in theory, this should be the better figure, but I have to give the vote to him. Even though I'm swapping his head out, even with the head that came with him, this head right here, I still prefer that He-Man to this He-Man. And we know I'm a fan of the beards, but I have to go with the new He-Man. He seems to be my favorite so far out of all of these different Masterverse He-Men that we have. Let me see, whose head am I going to pop on here? I'll just pop this one on here real quick, just so we get a head on him. That is an Origins vintage style head on the 40th anniversary He-Man. Man, these just look like a pack of dudes coming at you, huh? This is a crowd you wouldn't want to mess with. We got the shorty over here, but he looks scary anyway. Got blood all over himself, all cut up, and he's still here for the fight. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, turn the subscriptions on, turn the notifications on, tell somebody that you love them, tell 2 people that you love them today, and don't forget, we love you here at the channel. We appreciate your views and your comments. It's a great deal of help. Every like and every subscription, every comment, it helps this channel grow, and I just want you guys to know I appreciate you so much, and I thank you for helping me grow the channel. Have a wonderful day.